Okay. So fall 22, Santa Ana College, Child Development 205, Intro to Special Needs. I have a question already about the book. I will show you. Yeah, I will show you. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to share screen and I'm going to open. Oh, let's see, what am I going to open? Let's do Canvas. You're going to see all of my emails. So again, I'm assuming everybody knows how to get into Canvas. You just open a tab. For me, once you've been in Canvas once, you can type in Instructure, and it shows up Instagram first. So type in Instructure and you'll get this vanity URL, which is the rsccd.instructure.com. If you're in a different district, you might get a different URL, like my friends in San Jacinto, so hers says msjc.instructure.com. But just know that Instructure is the people who own and host Canvas. And most colleges now, and community colleges in California now, I think there's like 100 out of the 120 use Canvas. So that's nice, because that means that you could be here and take a class that you need on your schedule at like Siskiyou or Yosemite or something like that, or San Diego or something like that. So these are all my classes. Our class here, because it's SAC, see, this is all, for me, this is all SAC, but because it's SAC, I keep it nice and red. I taught there for 5 years. Yeah, this is my specialty, so I really love it. Now, again, you're going to see my screen a little bit here. You might see some little blockouts here. Doesn't show up on your screen on purpose. This is the professor screen. So I do settings so where you can see the last 3 messages announcement come on the home page. I know sometimes if your email is like mine, you get overloaded and you maybe don't see all your emails. So I do list our class is, I always say CDEV 205. So you can sort by that or ignore me by that, whatever you need, right? But some people say, well, I never got your email. Make sure you are getting the emails, that your email listed with WebAdvisor is the one that you're using, because I am a little bit nutty with announcements. I have like maybe one a day or one every other day. A lot of it's important, or there's an event or there's extra credit and it's an event and it's going to happen tomorrow. And if you don't read your emails for 3 days, and you're going to miss it. Yeah. So just keep an eye on it. I try to keep them short. Somebody let me know that you couldn't reply to my emails, and I did reply to my announcements, and I did fix that. So thank you. Anytime there's a issue like that something's wrong, missing, wrong date, typo, anything like that, let me know. I have an oops finder column. Everybody gets about 0.5 or so points for letting me know. Yeah. So, I mean, you could walk away with that extra 5 points of like, hey, professor, you blew it. Good. We are co-creating this universe together, right? I mean, yes, I am the little bit of the gatekeeper of the information, but not really. You have the book, and we will talk about that too. First thing you want to do is when you see any class, you want to go to syllabus. Okay. Your syllabus is the contract for this class. Now, I copied everything here, everything that's on the syllabus, except for the last 2 pages. I made a calendar, but I put all the stuff in our calendar over here too. And I'll show you that as well. So here, when it says this little down arrow, I'm sure you guys know this. So click here to download. I already have it. It's right here. So let me get it off my desktop. My desktop, 205. Now, you guys might hear me say 202. It's the same class. It is literally the same class. Because Santa Ana College and SAC are in the same district, we have to share the numbers of the classes if the title is the same. So because I am kind of the newest, I don't want to say newest professor, but I'm a little bit of like the curriculum queen right now. It's a weird, dubious distinction because curriculum is just a bunch of contracts. It's like, blah. Anyways, I've spent the last 4 years like learning curriculum. So we at SAC, we just kind of are like a half a step ahead because they didn't have somebody, they had a staffing shortage at SAC, at Santa Ana. So we're a little bit ahead. And so in my class, we call it special populations. And here at Santa Ana College, we call it special needs. And I'll show you the distinction. But the book is the same. The syllabus is everything's the same. It's just a little bit of a wording change. And I'll tell you guys the difference. It's just like, you know, it's a difference between, let's saying like hungry and angry, and now it's hangry. Yeah, we're just a half a step ahead. So 205 here, and that's the original number. Ours is now 202 over there. But again, here on every syllabus, you're going to have the mission statement, which is lovely because Santa Ana's is really short. I love it. Ours is like 5 lines. Ugh. This one's great. Inspires, transforms, and empowers a diverse community of learners. True and true. Our class here is hybrid, meaning normally classes are supposed to meet about 3 hours a week. Or if it's 12 weeks, maybe 4 hours. But we're only doing an hour and a half. So the other 2.5 hours-ish are activities that are built into the module that you do in lieu of lecture time. So sometimes people go, oh, that's a lot of work. I thought 12 weeks is going to be easier. No, it's still 3 units. Instead of 4 months, it's 3 months. So the workload gets a little bigger, right? So it's like 4 months is like this, 3 months is like this, and like 8 weeks is like this, right? So I did break it down in the module as well to show us. So 12 weeks, it's not hard. There's just a little bit of overlap. So some of the weeks there's 2 chapters, but I'm trying to make it doable and not super cringe. Fair? Okay. Now our course description is the same. We're basically learning about children with unique needs, but we're also learning about the laws that protect those students. And one of the reasons why we changed our name is that special needs is not a person, it is a program. So there are people with special needs. By the way, that's all of us. We all have special needs. We are all special people. However, there is a group of students who are unique learners who need extra supports. Therefore, they qualify for a program called special needs in the public school system. So it's like saying people aren't illegal. We're not saying people have special needs. We all have special needs. But at SCC, we now call it special populations, right? And by the way, after COVID or during COVID or because of COVID, there's a lot more people who need a lot more supports. Even the most smartest, salient, pulled together regular person was off kilter a little bit. And now after COVID, most kids, even typically developed children with no unique needs, are a little bit behind. So guess what? Again, we're all special needs. So again, we use special needs as a program, not as a person. And we'll talk about person first language in chapter 1. Again, it's not the autistic kid, it's the child with autism or the child on the spectrum. Like every time you got like a broken ankle or elbow, did we say the broken ankle chick? No. If you guys came down with COVID, did we say the COVID kid? No. We say the person who has COVID, right? So it's a thing that we're going to talk about how our society looks at people and how we talk about people. I've even had a conversation with somebody in a different class who said, well, if the student has cerebral palsy, how do we educate them? Well, cerebral palsy only affects the joints. It doesn't affect the brain. They can be super duper smart and just happen to be in a wheelchair. So our eyes do play tricks on us. And so that's why I'm really, really passionate about this community. So every class has these student learning outcomes, and we're going to talk about different types of exceptionalities. Like what's the difference between a seizure disorder and somebody with a physical impairment, like missing a limb, or someone from the deaf community. So we'll have, after the first 4 chapters, we'll have a different chapter that talks about a different category of special needs. Then we will talk about the role of history in society. We're going to do this in a discussion board. I want you guys to really talk. I give you all semester to really learn about the historical impacts, because we haven't always treated people well with disabilities or differences. And then we're going to talk about how can we support families, right? And we're going to do a public service announcement by that. That's going to be our final project. They're really fun. You guys get to pick the disability of your choice and make like a pamphlet or a presentation and record it and present it last day of class. Either one. You can present it live or you can record it and send that in. Here is our book. This is the 2nd edition. I know there's a newer edition that came out. We don't need it. Don't need it right now. Okay. I actually got my book digitally. Like I gave my copy to another professor, but I got my book digitally on Vital Source. I think you can also rent, our bookstores both have it, but you can also rent it. I think Amazon has it, or Barnes and Noble. Anywhere else? Did anybody else find it anywhere else? Is there like Chegg or anything? I don't know who else does it. Anyone in the chat?
Well, I got it on Amazon.
Okay,
I rented it.
Okay, so what was it, Jessica, to rent it?
I think it was like $40.
Oh, okay, for like 3 months.
Mhm.
Oh, way better because I think it lists for like 125.
Yeah, it's expensive.
So I thank you for sharing, Jessica. I appreciate it. So I can tell you, in our district, we're trying to make all of the core 8 classes for child development majors free books called Open Educational Resources. This just happens to not be in the core 8. However, I have put my hat in the ring for the statewide committee to make a version of a special needs book that is open educational resources, but that'll take probably like 5 years, no joke. So the primary focus is our core 8 classes, which is like 107, 110, 108, 221, 112, 111 A and B, and 298. So those classes, as of spring of next year, should all be OER, but this one is doesn't quite land in there. However, the book is good. I'm not the professor who says, get the book and we're only going to read 4 pages of it. No, we're going to go like cover to cover. We are. Because I think that's fair. Why waste anybody's time or money or whatever? Even $40, you're like, I don't want to waste that. Come on now. So the book is pretty good. I give it a solid like B++, maybe A-. Yeah, so we're good to go. The first edition was better, but I swallowed it and went to second. I think there's a third out, but we're not going there. We're not going there. Let's just keep it here. You can probably, I put here what to expect. You can probably tell I'm a little off kilter in a good way, hopefully. I'm crazy nutty for this stuff. My son actually happens to be on the spectrum with, so he has high functioning autism and he has ADHD and he's got some other stuff too. He's also adopted and mixed race. So there's a lot going on. And we had a rough night with him last night and a rough morning this morning. I told the school, don't call me. I'm lecturing at 10. She calls me at 10 to 10. I was like, "Urgh." So as we go forward in the book, I don't mean to be a weird expert on all this stuff, but when it comes to like things that the school district does wrong and doesn't follow the federal rules, like the national rules for protecting students with disabilities, yes, I have sued the school district and won. So don't mean to be an expert at that stuff, but I'm willing to share what I know. Ugh. And if you got stuff offline that you need maybe some referrals to, I have referrals. So let me know. I have referred students to my son's attorney. His first attorney actually is a professor at SAC, Kim Smith, in the legal studies department. She teaches contract law and she's really, really cool. That was his first attorney. Yes, the second one now, but so campus policies. If you are on campus, even if you're not on campus, you are still protected by campus policies, right? I've actually like killed my battery like down the street and they came and jumped me down the street. So I always tell people, put that number in your phone. When in doubt, just give them a call. Okay. Educational support needs. I'm teaching disability. So if you have one, let me support you, but I do need your DSPS letter. If you're not sure you need DSPS, reach out to me and I'll share with you guys my little DSPS journey as we keep going as well. I can't give you accommodations or modifications without the letter, but I'm pretty flexible in here. So everybody gets a bonus. Equity and federal non-discrimination. Title IX protects all of us, men and women. It used to just protect funding and now it protects our bodies. And so if anybody's harassing you, even at work, as a public school student in the state of California, and the federal government covers you from being harassed by another person, man, woman, coworker, anything. So let me know if you need support. In this role, I'm no longer a social worker, but I can plug you into people who can help. Additional resources. You guys have a Thrive Center. We have a Hawk's Nest. Same thing, super awesome. I cannot believe, again, as a social worker, it was super hard to get people groceries. ESF, we had a pantry, it was awesome. But getting groceries in a bus pass, guess what college students get? Groceries in a bus pass. I was like, this is fantastic. And then for add drop procedures, I left SEC's guidelines in here, but they're the same as Santa Ana College. I'm supposed to drop you if you didn't show up for class on Canvas day 1. And so here's Thursday, and I put the line in the sand for 6 p.m. tonight. So this is where I'm asking for class participation. The last day to drop this class, I did print this out, and weirdly, it's different than my other class. I printed it out, but where can you find this? The last day to drop this class to get a full refund, like get your money back, right? If you look at this syllabus and you are watching my video and you're like, this lady's crazy. Drop class, it's all good. Take somebody else. I'm down, whatever. Professor Cass, who teaches a lot of special needs stuff. She's amazing. She does teach this class. Sometimes she just was booked with other classes. If you need to take a different professor, definitely take Professor Cass. She owns a preschool with full inclusion. Beautiful, beautiful day. So I have the dates here, but who has the date? Put it in the chat. Last day to get a refund. I should know this. This is an important date. It's in the chat. Let's see. It is today, Lorena, on it. It is today. And I would say do it before 6 p.m. Because, you know, the computer system gets a little fussy, right? So again, if this is not your cup of tea, no offense. But if you want to come back next semester, I'm here too, right? Let me know. Let's say last day to drop with a W and not an F. Because you have a couple more weeks. It's a little bit further towards the end. It should be on your web advisor. It should be on your class details. November, yes. Leslie, November, yes. November what? If you were in class, I would just stare you all down. Come on, seriously, you guys need to know this, because if you're going forward and something happens, just get a W, not an F. November what? I'll just wait. Come on, you guys can look it up. We're gonna waste time. This is important. The difference between an F and a W is your transcript. Transfer colleges, they don't mind the W's. The F's, they mind. November what? Look on your schedule under web advisor. Under section information, I have it for you. I did mention I have a teenager, so I can be as stubborn as the day is long. Oh, should I get coffee? You can jump in, you can put it in chat. I don't see anybody raising their hand. Just hang out, it's all good. Come on, Leslie gave you guys half the answer. What's the date in November? I can call on somebody. Ooh, that would suck. Should I call on? I know some people know me. Should I just go down the list? Should I go alphabetical?
Somebody put on the chat November 13th.
Oh, I didn't see the chat. Oh, Carmen, thank you. However, I have here last day to drop with a W, November 10th. And definitely not 23, 22. So I got this thing and I'm not sure if we can see it here. We probably can't. Let me see if I can see me here. Okay, because I'm blurred, it might blur this. Yeah, so this one says section information, comes right off of web advisor. It's gonna start blurring. Oh no, it's gonna keep blurring it because I'm blurred. Well, let me see if I can do it without the blur. That helps. Yeah, double checking. This is 205 from SAC. So I have November 10th. So here's the thing. Whenever those due dates show up, try to do it before that, right? So you're not like the last minute times 1,000. Because I'm telling you, even last semester, I loaded my grades a day early. Had I not done that, all the rest of the professors got blocked out on the day the grades were due. I was like, oh my God, the system crashed. So don't ever wait till the very, very last day. But trust me, that sucks. Okay, cool. All right. Those dates are there for you guys because I don't want anybody to like not have an exit plan, right? Okay, good. So you guys can still see the screen, right? Good. Academic dishonesty says don't cheat. It's not worth it. Don't do it. I'm on like the student conduct committee. It's really embarrassing. We have to talk about my students cheating. Here's the thing. A lot of people don't know that you're cheating. Let's just start with that. I will share like an APA format class through the library. You guys can learn that stuff. I'm not like a total stickler for APA. I'm saying when in doubt, just throw a citation in there. Do your best. I don't have it memorized perfectly, but if we all do our best, we're doing better than not doing our best, right? Plus, this class, I will ask your opinion. This is not a research-based class. This is not a research-based class. Your commitment to this community has more to do with your passion and empathy than it does with your research. If you want to be a researcher, but that's later. Get in the industry first, then you'll understand what it is to be with a person who needs support. Just be present. Just be present. Contacting me, the best way is through Canvas. I'm on Canvas. I send a message out about Pronto. I'm on Canvas like twice a day. I was literally at my hairdresser's yesterday on Canvas, so I'm there all the time. I try not to be on past 8 o'clock because then I can't sleep, but yeah, I was here till 10:15 last night. So once you send it to me in Canvas, it also goes to my email. So for some reason, what I do is when I wake up in the morning, I work for you guys. I was hired by the board, but I work for you guys. So I check my Canvas first, and then I check for like the dean and the chair or whatever, all the other stuff. So because you guys are like working all night long or, stressed out about stuff and need an answer. So I'm like, let me get that in there. But if I then wrap up my Canvas and then I go to my email, another email might pop through. Plus Canvas records every time you email me and I email you back or not. Same thing with all the rest of your professors. So every once in a while when I get a student who's like, you never answered me, I was like, really? I have a timeline here that I answered you in the same day. So just know that there's a lot of coverage in here and we're here for supports, not to trip anybody up, but at the same time, I really try really, really hard. But again, I have a disabled teenager, so sometimes I am MIA for like a day and a half tops. But I am here. I have 8 classes this semester. I am here. I'm in it to win it. Attendance participation, again, we already talked about this. Minute 1, I'm not recording you guys right now. I mean, the Zoom is being recorded, but I didn't write down who's here. Canvas will tell me how many minutes or hours you've spent in there. It will also rate your ability or how many pages you've clicked on or how you stack up against your peers. So I used to grade participation and attendance based on that. Like if a lot of people are doing awesome in the class and you're really lagging behind, like I would be like, okay, well, you're not participating as much as your peers. And that means in a discussion board, that means you're not really having a discussion. And we'll talk more about that. So even before COVID, I had everything submitted on Canvas. Save a tree, please. But now that we're obviously on an online hybrid class, everything's in Canvas. Please do not print out stuff, deliver it to me, nothing. Please don't. Okay. For grading, I use a top-down grading policy, meaning I assume everybody wants all the points, right? So if I had a 10-point essay on an exam and it's just 3 small paragraphs, using your opinion, if I give you all the instructions and you blow off the instructions, well, I assume you want a 10, but like if you gave me 2 paragraphs instead of 3, I'm like, oof, maybe this one's gonna be a 7. Oof, that information's wrong. Oof, the spelling and grammar is terrible. Maybe we're more like at a 5. I assume people want 10 points. I can go over 10 points too. Why? Because I can. I'm the professor. Let me give you extra points. 10%, 20%. Those extra points add up to where, let's say, again, you do take a week off or you completely forget something. And how many times you forgot what day of the week is? I'm like, oh, today's Thursday. Wait, yesterday I thought was Tuesday. Nope, yesterday was Wednesday. Right. So, I mean, last week, I was even worse. I was like, what day? I mean, bing bong all week. So again, show me what you got. I'll show you the points that match. Fair? I usually about 10 to 20% over. If there's any errors, again, I have that oops finder column. Let me know, just email me, hey, I can't see this video, or you didn't publish or unlock the module, or the due date's wrong, blah, 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 whatever. Let me know, I will fix it. Like, again, I have a little bit of OCD. It's sort of helpful in some situations. So I just figured nothing's ever perfect, but I always go for an A. But you know what? I can live with a B. And we'll talk about that too. I'd rather you guys get a B in this class and have your head on screwed on straight and be present with a person than to have an A and be totally clueless. Personal philosophy. Okay. Late policy. This is hard for people to understand. I do not take points off for late work. I do not take points off for late work. I do not take points off for late work, with one exception. The discussion boards. I'm a little bit of a hard ass on the discussion boards. And that is because why should we discuss something the week after we were discussing it? Blech, none. Nah. But here's the deal. In this class with 15 chapters and 15 points for discussion board, if you really want to blow it off, 225 points off of a total of 1,000, it's still going to get you a B. So if you do extra points here and there, you could even bring that up to an A. I do have a ton of extra credit in here too. Sometimes people leave this class with 107%. It's up to you. Now, again, please don't be a super anxious person and need 100%, because you don't. I roll up the 89.5 to an A. And are you guys asking me if I got an A in every class? Nope. Does it matter? You're like, think of your favorite teacher when you're like in the 5th grade or 3rd grade or whatever. Did you ask them if they got an A in every class? It doesn't matter. It matters who you are and what you bring to the equation, right? Be in the arena, be present and authentic. Nobody has to have straight A's. In fact, there's a high correlation with anxiety and straight A's. My friend did her master's thesis on firstborn daughters with anxiety disorder and perfectionism and being late. I was like, ooh, right? So here's my thing on the discussion board. I'm going to say this about 1,000 times, and I'm okay to do it. If by Wednesday, the due dates are always on Sundays, you're going to see all my due dates say 8 p.m. All of my due dates say 8 p.m. All of my due dates say 8 p.m. And there's a couple of different reasons for that. Number one, I'm a mom. I don't want you staying up till 11:59. Number two, other professors have 11:59, so get this one done first. You turn all this stuff in early, that's fine. If you see an 11:59 in this class, it's like a just, hey, read this page. And once you click on it once, it comes off your to-do list. Okay, so the due dates for most everything slam to Sunday at 8 o'clock. However, the discussion board, even though it'll say Sunday at 8, I need that first main post in by Wednesday at 8. That's how I know you are in it to win it for the week. After 8 p.m., it's an automatic 0. And then just move on. It's okay. Out of that week, you'll have notes, you'll have a reflection, you'll have a quiz. Missing 15 points that week is not going to kill you. I promise. Right? I promise. Now, the first couple weeks, I'm flexible because you guys are getting the feel for the class. We have 2 discussion boards this week. I'm not going to play super duper hard ass this week. You know, it's like training wheels, right? Every class is different. And starting a 12-week class in sort of the middle of the semester is punky. Eights kind of wrap up and move on, but you're like, oof, I just got the other classes 4 weeks ago in under my belt. And now I'm like, oh, another one. I get it. I give people like 2 weeks to get. So then after like chapter 2, then I get really hard ass. Again, just skip it. I'm also going to tell you about the bonus points that I give everybody. So give me a sec. I want to answer at least 3 questions so far that we've talked about. Anything on grading, anything on a late policy, anything. If you're going to be late, even on a journal or a journal or even your notes, just be like, hey, I'm going to be a couple days late on this. Just wanted to keep you in the loop. That's how I know you have a plan. Because people are like, oh, my boss called and have to pull a double. You're like, I get it. Then just let me know. Because I tell you what, once you articulate your plan of recovery or your plan to not get too far behind, it keeps the entire semester going at a decent clip. So like this week, a couple of people are like, I'm really stressed out about, I don't know how to embed pictures. I understand. I'm not going to freak out about the Wednesday. Try to get in by Sunday, but if not, let me know. And by the way, there's a couple of solutions to your problems. You can call the helpline, you can call the student line, you can call blah, blah, whatever. Look at the videos. So 3 questions about what we've covered so far. Jump in or chat.
The personal pictorial
Yes.
information was for yesterday?
Yeah, that's again, that's the Wednesday. I'm like, please get that main piece in, because this is what discussion boards are about. Great question, Jessica. If you get your pictures in by Wednesday, that people can respond to you. And now in my discussion boards, I'm a little bit extra, meaning like what I've noticed is that people are really used to social media posting. People I know are taking this class on their phone and they're giving me like a text answer, like I'm your BFF and we're going to the club. No, 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 let's not do that. A discussion board is to actually discuss things. And if we're trying to get to know each other, do you just post your pictures and walk off? No, you post your pictures, and between Wednesday and Sunday, you reach out to two peers. Maybe you have something in common with them. Maybe your dogs are similar. Maybe you both went to Yosemite over the summer, whatever it is. And then, but here's the thing, if you reach out and say, oh, I like your dog, is so cute, and you walk away, that's not a conversation. I expect another loop back. Whoa, a conversation. So I've noticed like on Twitter, people are like, this is what I had for brunch. And then they're like, they're not really having a conversation. They're just like posting like, isn't my life perfect? Do you love all my filters? Like, no, that's not a conversation. That's people just saying, hey, I'm here, I'm relevant, I'm present. A conversation is a conversation. So a discussion board is different than social media. So I get a little extra because I could tell you discussion boards are the biggest challenge for all students and the professors. I spend 80% of my time on the discussion boards. And so if you guys are going to like do it halfway, it's not worth your time. It's not worth my time. Make sense? So that's why I'm like, hey, just cut it after Wednesday. So I tell people, if you do nothing that week on time, start with the discussion board. Most of it does not require the book either. I mean, I try to take the discussion boards and I call them sometimes theory to practice or activity boards. And I'm making you take what you've learned and go do something with it. So when we get to like some of the last chapters of the deaf community and the blind community, I ask you to go home and spend an hour with your eyes covered or your ears plugged. You don't need the book for that, right? I want you to experience that, right? Or there are kids who are born deaf and blind. What? How do you sign to them? How do you talk to them? How do you get information from them? How do you teach them to talk? How do you teach them Braille if they can't even see or hear? I sometimes want us to experience some of that. So our discussion boards are to augment what's in the book. They don't necessarily regurgitate what's in the book. I don't say, turn to page 12 and blah, blah, blah. That's high school. I'm not doing that. If I wanted to be a high school teacher, I'd be a high school teacher, but no, thank you. Fair. All right, so good question, Jessica. I will let us go forward instead of doing 3 questions. Yours counts for all 3. Okay, so every week, every chapter you may have seen on the schedule, and I'll scroll down in a second, there are outlines. Okay, I say outlines, I say notes, same thing. And trust me, after about teaching for about 5 years, I noticed nobody really even read the chapter. This is a way you get skin in the game. Now, when I say outlines and notes, you don't have to do it my way. You can do it your way. And I'll show you the different formats. I give you hyperlinks to videos. You guys can pick your format. It just has to be long enough. Like, so like typed is like 2 pages and handwritten is like 4 pages. And if you want to do a graphic novel, 1 page with color, right? Now, notice here. Now, these are all due by Sunday. I'm sorry, I put outlines due by Friday. But if you want to turn them in Sundays, I'm fine with that too. This phrase here, the lowest outline submission will be dropped at the end of the semester. Yeah, that means out of all the outlines, I drop 1. Give you 10 points for free. So you could say, oh, I'm not having it this week. Or at the end of the semester, chapter 14, like I already have 107% in the class. I don't need to do that last 10 points. Your choice. Yeah, because what was happening is that I would have students be a little off kilter the first week or 2 and forget to submit their notes and then freak out and drop a class. I'm like, no, stop. It's just 10 points. It's just 10 points. Don't drop the class. Don't freak out. Okay, same thing with the activity or the discussion board. Students will participate in an activity that will replicate the classroom experience. I'm augmenting what we're learning. Again, the lowest discussion board is dropped at the end of the semester. So here's 10 points for outline and 15 points for free. So again, since we don't really get a Thanksgiving break, we don't, you know, we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Our class won't meet that Thursday. It's actual Thanksgiving. But we really only get Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. Blah. We're like spring break is like a whole week, right? So it's a little rough. That's why other semesters are different, whatever. But if you need to take that week because you're traveling, take the week. You're not going to lose points. You're not. It's weird, but that's how I like it. Okay. So at the end of every module, every chapter, there's a reflection. This is called a formative assessment if you become a teacher. I don't want to quiz you to know what you've learned. I want to hear from you to know what you've learned. There's 3 parts, 5 points each. One is, tell me what stuck out to you this week. What did I learn? If you can't sit back and say, what did I learn? Then maybe you didn't learn anything. Whoops. Second, find another resource that connects to what we've learned in the chapter. Our book doesn't have everything under the sun, does it? Show me a TED Talk, some Kanye lyrics, a TikTok. I don't care. Something that connects to the chapter. Trust me, we have an entire chapter on emotional issues. And so, yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. Okay. And the last part is, now that I know this information and I found an additional resource, what am I going to do with it now or in my future career? Yeah. So this is how I know you're reflecting on what you've learned. 15 points, same as a discussion board, but I let you turn the journal in a couple of days later if you need it. Wait, what? Yeah. We only have 2 assignments. I kind of watered this down slightly by 1 assignment because instead of having 4 months for the semester, we have 3. So 1 assignment per month. The film analysis is going to be in month 2, and the public service analysis is going to be the last month. Yeah, I picked out films for you guys to check out and connect our book to what you've seen. And then our PSA, you get to pick a disability of your choice. Now there is a quiz at the end of every module chapter. They're 10 points each. There are 5 true and false and 5 multiple choice. I switch it up because some people are good at one and some people are not good at the other and whatnot. You have unlimited time and unlimited chances. You have unlimited time and unlimited chances. More time. Unlimited time, unlimited chances. And yes, you can be a little bit late. Just email me and let me know you're okay. Let me know your plan. Oh, do I drop the lowest quiz? Yes, because it's 10 points. Making or breaking your grade over, it's not going to break. So here's the thing. Some people, I've seen this in this class, they start with the quiz. Even though it's due Sundays, some people start with the quiz and say, what do I need to learn? Okay, I'll tell you what, if there's 5 sections to a chapter, I have 2 questions from each section. I'm very specific. I'm very mindful of all that stuff. You'll have to learn the chapter. But sometimes people are like, hey, I might already know some of the stuff, so let me just hammer out that quiz. Or let's say you did the quiz just blind and you got like 6 out of 10 right. Well, now you can like make sure your notes cover those other 4 and then go back and take it again. You can take it 30 times if you want. Trust me. I saw somebody walking down Main Street at Disneyland taking a quiz. So I was like, all right, we're good. Yeah, I have broken our class into 4 units. It's first unit is 4 chapters, second unit is 4 chapters, third unit is 4 chapters, last unit is 3 chapters. It makes it a little bit easier for the end of the semester. I have an exam at the end of every unit. Heads up, I do go out of order with the book a little bit just because they didn't ask me and I like it a little bit different, but I'll give you guys warnings as we go. Like we go 1 through 6, no problem, but then we switched up. I go 9, 11, whatever. Anyways, the exams are multiple choice, true, false, matching, some other like fill in the blank, something like that, and then a 10-point essay question and a 5-point extra credit essay. So if you're doing a 10-point essay and it's amazing, yet it doesn't have to be research, it's your opinion. And let's say you get 15 points on that essay. I have given it 15 out of 10. And you do the extra credit, you get like 7. You now have an extra 22 points out of it, right? Is that right? 7? No, 12. Yeah, extra 12 points. So you could get a 62 out of 50 on an exam. Oh, wait, does that 62 cover that one quiz I forgot or that one note I didn't do and the 2 points that I missed on that other thing? Yes. Points do not determine the value of a person. It's just a random number assigned to a grade. And come on, if we even talked about how units and time was measured, oh, don't even get there. You guys can do this. Well, most people are very, very successful in this class. Okay. It has taken a minute to realize that, yes, she's very flexible, but don't mess it up. We call it, in my house, we call it the backfire gene. Like my kid, he's smart enough to like try to manipulate and then he backfires. It's hilarious. I do have extra credit module feedbacks. Like, give me your 2 cents on this. Was it hard? Was it weird? Was it whatever? I call it toss, keep, or tweak. Up to 3 points. Do it or don't. Portfolio is another extra credit. It's kind of like LinkedIn. I'll have that for you guys available in a couple weeks. It's 40 points if you want to do it. And then if there's an event or you want to watch a documentary, you can do 5 points each, max 25 points. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so here we go. Let's see, let's close down. All right, so I kind of grouped it here, and I'm bummed that this graphic messed up here. It says, I don't love studying. I hate studying. I love learning. Learning is great. Learning is fun. So prep week items this week, you can get 50 points just by doing the prep week stuff. Or maybe I took stuff out. Let's see. I think it's 50 points. It might be 40. We'll see. Outlines 10 points times 15 chapters. Again, if we have 1,000 points in this class, you can miss about 100 points and still get an A. So skip all your outlines, but just make up your 50 points somewhere else. Wait, what? Same thing. Oh, I put journal here twice. One is supposed to be discussion board. Discussion board, cross that out. Discussion boards, 15 times 15. Reflection journal, 15 times 15. Assignments of 15 times 2. Quizzes, exams, drop lowest. Look at that. Here's one notes. Here's a quiz. Here's a discussion board. And here's a journal. Everybody gets 50 points for free at the end of the class. Factor that in or forget about it. It helps you both ways. So let's say you didn't skip anything. Let's say you didn't skip any quiz. You didn't skip any notes. You didn't skip any discussion board. You didn't skip any reflection journals. Yeah, it's extra credit. But if you miss a couple points here and there, 50 points like fills in the holes in the wall. Yeah. So here's a calendar that does match our course calendar. Now, again, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. You're going to see I put here weeks 1, 2, 3. This is our unit. Chapters 1 through 4 is one unit, but it's 4 chapters in 3 weeks. So it's a little funky. So what I did is I took the middle 2 chapters and just kind of overlapped them. Now, if you want to get to this week, if you want to do 1 and 2 together, that's fine. But you really have prep week and 1. So that is it's like 1.5. So people take time to get used to the class. So just do chapter 1 and get used to the format, do the prep module, get used to that stuff. Prep module should take you no more than an hour. Okay. We meet today. By Friday, get that outline in, and I will go over what an outline looks like. Yeah, we'll go into Canvas after this. Okay, so just do these 2 things this for a week. Don't overdo it, right? Then next week you could do 2 and 3, or you could just do 2 and then wait to do 3 and 4. It's up to you. It's up to you. You could do all 3 early. It doesn't matter to me. Like I want to be mindful of your time. So after this week, I will open up 2, 3, and 4. I don't want to overload people. Giving people too much stuff at the beginning scares people off. So I don't want to do that. Okay. So this week is thinking about exceptionalities. Why are we doing this? Why are we here? Why do we study this? What is the history? What is the basics here, right? And again, you're going to do your outline by Friday, and then by Wednesday, the first post into the intro discussion board. Now that means the pictorial one for prep week and chapter 1. Pretty straightforward. I will walk you through all of those things. I've already seen the pictorial ones. They are amazing. They're sweet. I love seeing everybody's pictures. Isn't it funny how a lot of people have so much stuff in common? It's so crazy. And then by Sunday, you're going to respond to your peers and then respond to the peer questions. And reach out and then re-answer. It's not hard. So it's 1 main post and 2 and 2. Every week. This week there's 2. Next week there's sort of 2, but you can always push 3 to 4. It's up to you. So again, I'm doing 4 chapters in 3 weeks. You guys could do it this way. You could do it this way. You could do it this way. You could do them all in 1 week. It's up to you. It's up to you. Now, because I said Wednesdays is the cutoff for the discussion board, I'm actually letting you have to the very last Wednesday of that unit to cut off. Oof, this is the first time I've done this. I'm usually week by week, but now I'm like, I'll give you guys 3 weeks to get those discussion boards in. It's weird, but we can do it. Don't let it pile up. That's the thing. I'm saying do it every week. Get yourself into a pattern. If this was a 16-week class, we would just have it on week. Because we're a little bit accelerated, I want to give you guys a little bit of a break. By 9/5, which is a Wednesday, by 8 o'clock, if I don't see these discussion board first posts in, automatic 0. Ooh, so I'm giving you 3 weeks to get in 5 discussion boards. But don't, and I will be reminding people, hey, I don't see your discussion board. Then this is behind, you're behind. What's your deal? The first unit, I'm going to be on you. I'm going to be on your butts. So once you can get that pattern into because trust me, what's coming up next? Everything. October, November, December. Who has extra time in October to November, December? Nobody. Please set down a foundation of good habits now. So as the the toilet paper roll spins faster as the year ends, you are better prepared. Fair? I've seen it. I'm just, again, call me Professor Mommy. Like, I want to make sure that you guys are well taken care of as we move forward. These classes aren't stressful. They're just like a pattern. They're just a thing. And because it is 12 weeks, it's a little bit faster. Okay. So after unit 1, these are all setup stuff. So thinking about it, what is education? What does equal education look like? What is like inclusion education look like? And then we talk about culture as part of education. And then we talk about all the laws and the IEP. Yeah, I do share a lot of stuff in here. It can be a little dry, but at the same time, some of you have probably sat in an IEP or heard about an IEP or seen an IEP or like, and had no idea what it's all about. Oh, it's a big deal. I actually have his first attorney talking about this stuff. Yeah. So it's some good stuff. And by the way, the history of full inclusion of equal education starts here in Santa Ana. And we'll talk more about that. Yeah. The entire nation based their treatment of all learners based on what we did here in Santa Ana. Not kidding. And we'll talk more about that. So unit 2 is weeks 4, 5, 6, but we talk about the things that are more common in our community, things that we've seen before, things that we've heard before, things that we're more used to. So things like speech and language. So, you know, like sometimes little babies, they talk like a little baby and they have a little O and a W and things like that. But when they're little, they're just forming their muscles. It's not a big deal. We don't want 12-year-olds talking like that, right? But when little kids do it, they're new. You know, a 2-year-old's only been on the planet for 2 years, right? So then speech and language impairments are normal, but how do we support those? Can we give them therapy? Can we give them exercises? The answer is yes. The earlier we get involved, the less that problem continues, okay? Then we've all heard about learning disabilities. It's actually the largest category of students served by special education services. So learning disabilities, for the most part, are invisible. You don't know what it looks like, but there's a lot of different ones. And some of us have them, right? And then we jump. See how we went 4, 5, 6, and then 9. So 9 is intellectual disabilities. This is where, instead of saying mentally retarded, we don't say that anymore. We say intellectual disabilities. And it could be somebody with a lower IQ, or it could be somebody born with genetic disorder that has a lower IQ. But again, what supports do they need? When did their disability occur? How acute is it? How much supports do they need? Do they need lifelong services or just check in once a month? Yeah. And then we move to physical and health disabilities. Again, this is for people who have asthma, people who have diabetes, people who are missing a limb, or are temporarily in a crutch or in a cast, things like that. So again, I move these out of order because they're just a little bit more of an ease into the things that we kind of already know. All of our learning in every class starts with what do we know? Even if you're taking anthropology, you're like, what do I know about a dead language or a dead society? Maybe nothing, maybe a little bit. Maybe I've watched National Geographic, whatever, right? And so I'm trying to get you guys eased in. Plus the pattern stays the same. Wednesday, first discussion boards, Sunday, everything else is due. You can put your outlines in on Friday, but you can even push those to Saturday or Sunday. But again, I'm giving you the last Wednesday of the unit for the cutoff for the discussion boards. What? Yeah, so that's me being as flexible as I possibly can, but don't let it hang you. Don't let it hang you. Don't let it get you too far behind. This now, the unit 3 is what everybody loves to take this class for. People are like, I want to learn more about ADHD, autism, and emotional stuff. What's happening when a 3-year-old is like, has a behavior disorder? Well, first of all, they're 3. Let's talk about what's normal, right? Should I be scared of my child who like kicks a hole in my door? Yeah, maybe. But is it part of his dysregulation disorder? Sure. Right. So what is normal? What is expected from these students and whatnot? And then lastly, I took chapter 15 and bumped it up here too. Because guess what? You can have a kid with ADHD, autism, emotional disorder, and be gifted. You may have this one kid with all these things in your class. I don't ever think that these things don't overlap, because they do. You could have a gifted kid with a learning disability. You could have a gifted kid with a speech impediment. You could have a gifted kid in a wheelchair. Ugh. Yeah. So I put these out of order just a little bit. 7, 8, 9 was up here, 10 and 15. I put those because you will see those happen together. You know, it's sadly common. Then last is the last 3 chapters, 12, 13, 14. Now these are ones are a little bit more rare, very specialized. And notice it's only, again, 3 chapters the last unit, which is nice, But again, students who are part of the deaf community or students who have low vision and blindness sometimes go to different schools. They require different teachers. Same thing with other low incidence. Again, we were talking about earlier about a child with who's deaf and blind. They need special types of teachers, are called interveners. So again, you have your last Wednesday of the 3 weeks, the last Wednesday of the 3 weeks to go to get that discussion board in. Again, the unit exam comes at the end of every unit, same format, multiple choice, true, false, matching, some other fill in, 10-point essay, 5-point extra credit. Now, it is not cumulative. We don't do cumulative exams. We just do units, because what we've learned in the past does build on each other. Okay. It's like me testing your ABCs right now. I think you've built on those as the life goes along. Now, again, even though I'm flexible with late times, I cannot move the end date of the semester. Cannot, will not. That's an equity issue. Everybody gets 3 months for this class. You don't get 3 months in one day. That's not fair. I will hold it. I will hold my line. I can be rather stubborn, and I'm pretty proud of that. So you guys, what I suggest is either download this, have a hard copy of it, have it ready to go so you know. Again, if there's any changes to the syllabus, I will update them. I'll let you guys know. The only thing in there was like, I should change discussion boards from reflection journal, but I'm not going to do that, the whole thing. I think you guys got it. But if you have any question on this at any time, email me directly in the Canvas inbox. And now we're going to go to Canvas. So before we do, syllabus questions. I know I'm talking fast.
I downloaded the syllabus, but the second part isn't there. Like the last part.
Like the calendar?
Uh-huh.
So here's the thing. When this part, that's not in there?
No.
Okay, so if you downloaded it from there's chat PDF version, you have to click the syllabus link at the top. See, because yeah, you guys got it. So here's the thing. It will keep, she says, if you keep scrolling down on it, it will come up. Now, here's the thing. If you look in Canvas, you're going to see course syllabus, right? If you printed this page, the only thing that's missing is that calendar grid at the bottom. But because it won't, I can't copy and paste it in here, trust me. But right here, if you click here, you'll get the whole thing.
That's what I clicked on, but
can you keep scrolling? Can you try it? Keep scrolling.
Let me see.
Try it and keep scrolling. But here's another option. I put all the dates in our calendar. Because you see how I have like a weird hard return in there?
Yeah, that's where I found everything in that calendar.
Oh yeah, so I doubled down. I put it here. Ours is 205. We're red. So I doubled down and put everything on here too. Now, some people put this in their iPhone. It does coordinate with iCal. You'll see here, these things are due on these dates, blah, blah, blah. Let me show you the pattern. Okay, so this is our prep week, right? So I has right here. Here's our homepage. See, remember when I said 11:59 is just a hey, read me? Once you read this, once you click on the homepage once, it comes off your to-do list. Once you read pre-prep A, it'll come off your to-do list. And I will walk us down the modules all the way, okay? But here I do, every Monday, I do introducing chapter 1. So yeah, I'll set that up for Monday. You'll see next week, chapter 2 and chapter 3, introducing chapter 1, chapter 3, chapter 2, chapter 3, right? And then I'll even have, here's the readings, chapter 2, 2.2 is the readings, 3.2 is the readings. And I'll show you in the module, it looks a little bit different. So anything here that says 11:59, hey, read me, just read it. And if there's no due date, it's not on your grade sheet, it's not, Points aren't going to get taken off, nothing. But if you see an 8 p.m., you bet your butt that is an actual assignment. Make sense? Yeah, guys got it. So look at outline. I don't even have out here. Outline 1 is supposed to be Friday. So just drag and drop. That helps me. Now, some of you might get notifications. The due date has changed. Yeah, you're going to be okay, I promise. But I did put it Sunday, but you can. Let's say you didn't get to it by Friday. You needed to turn it in by Saturday. Just let me know. Okay. And look here. So prep 4.1, 4.2, 4.3 are due by 8 o'clock. And then chapter 1 quiz, chapter 1 discussion board, and chapter 1 reflection. It's kind of a lot the first week, but you can do it. I promise you. I promise you. Yeah. You guys got this. You guys got this. And so the rest of the semester kind of looks like that, right? We introduce and here's the reading, right? So again, you can move for you can do 3 and 4 at the same time, but I just put the middle 2 chapters together, right? Oh, why is there a chapter 1 quiz, chapter 2 quiz, chapter 3 quiz? Interesting. So watch, let me move this 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Yay. I love the drag and drop feature. So awesome. So chapter 4 introduces here, and here's the quiz. Now exam 1 is ready to go. Chapter 4, chapter 4, chapter 4. Yeah. Outline chapter. Yeah, see, I'm off a little bit. So look at this 5. I will double check that these match up with the syllabus. If they don't, let me know. But see, let's look pretty good. 11, 11, 7, 7. Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, I'm really happy with this feature. Sometimes, again, people need to see the same calendar different ways, right? So let's go to our actual Canvas setup. Now you'll have a to-do list over here that pops up. This is my to-do list, but it's every class, 55 more, no joke. A lot. 8 classes a semester, which is a lot, but I'm in it to win it. That's why I'm on every day. So when we go to our class, you can go to modules. Now I don't show you all the modules at once. Right now, it's just the prep module and chapter 1 module. That's it. That's all you should be able to see. You are seeing the professor side of it right now. Wow, this is not it. Hold on. Let's see. I just took that off because this is like old stuff. Wait, what? Oh, wait, what? This is not looking right. Oh, interesting. Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong one. Wait, 919, 9. So just to let you know, I'm just finding out here. I have another, okay. Let me update a few things. I have another, there we go. I had another professor who was supposed to teach this class first. So let me take these things off. That would help. That's why they didn't come up on the calendar, because they're from last semester. So let me take these off. I will take them out. I didn't know they were there. So now I can show you what it's supposed to look like. So he's doing 5, 6, same thing. It's the same book, but my stuff keeps out. Hold on. So let me take off all the stuff so you're not confused. And we start with our pre-prep module, which is not that, not that. Let me make them all small so it's out of the way. Collapse all. There we go. All right. So I'm going to take his stuff out and then we start here. My stuff is caps. So that's how we know. You guys should only be able to see 1, 2, 3 modules. Yeah. Can somebody verify for that for me? Because I could show. Let's do this.
I saw all of that the other day.
I apologize. I did not know that was there. So now can you see just 3 things? So now I have course information. So see, now you see it's pink around the side. This means I'm in student view. Course information, supportive information, and chapter 1 module. That's all I have.
See those 3.
You just those 3. That's all I want. Too much is too much. Yeah. I don't want you to see all that stuff. Too much is too much.
Now I feel better.
Yeah, thank you. I did not mean to overwhelm you guys. I'm so sorry. We have like, yeah, I thought I erased all this stuff, but sometimes Canvas does weird stuff. One semester, it doubled everything in every single one of my classes. So I had like 2 of those and 2 of those and 2 of those, and everything else in there was doubled. I had to like hand erase everything. And then they were like, oh, sorry for our mistake. We left you a little gift in your mailbox. It was a pen and a Post-it. I was all, oh, thanks. So I can write down all the work you left for me. Thanks, appreciate it. So course information, you're gonna start here. Just literally go down each page. It's easy. So pre-prep A, this is like, hey, how are you with Canvas? You know, this is not anything to do. I'm just giving you resources. If you're brand new to it, again, here's video guides. Here's the toll-free number. I've called those people at 2 in the morning when I couldn't sleep. Yeah, trust me. If you are awesome at Canvas, help your friends, please. Set up your tech. Notification settings are like, if I move the due date, it'll say this due date has changed. If you don't want all those notifications, set that up the way you want. Please add a profile picture. I see that mine's not added here. I don't know why, but I will add one. Please give me a nice picture of you, shoulders up, not like your Pokemon character down down the beach. Please don't do that. Okay. Again, settings. I use Canvas mobile app. It's fantastic. Like, again, I can be a car wash and be doing it. Pronto is awesome. You guys can chit chat in there. You can also do video calls in Pronto and send gifts and little like emoticons, stuff like that. So next is need help. Here's peer-to-peer support. Now, this is SEC peer-to-peer support. I'm sure you guys have peer-to-peer support at Santa Ana College. But again, you can start with help desk. You can start with the help on the side there. We're all here to help you. Before you read this course, this is again, like, how are you with Canvas? And self-care. This is huge. Self-care is sustainability. If you are not taking care of yourself, you're not going to make it. Here's a quick little quiz. I've taken this quiz and it said that you are beyond burnout. And it was July. I was like, why am I burnt out in the summer? And that's when I knew I needed to see a therapist. Yeah. We also have a course called Trauma and Resilience, SEC. Feel free to ask me questions on that. It's fantastic. It's more than just child abuse. It's how to take care of yourself as a social worker or a teacher and things like that. So please ask me. Help desk. That's a double right there. All right, a little bit about me. I'm not going to read that, but it is on the scavenger hunt, so you will have to read that. Course policies, it's everything I have in the syllabus, but a little bit more specific. Like, how did I determine the point value? Why are the outlines only 10 points and the discussion board's 15, things like that. So why do I do acceptable file formats? I can't accept dot pages. Canvas doesn't accept that. Sorry, Mac users. So here's links to the video guides. Here's my grading, when I grade, what my late policy is. Here's a workflow, holidays, things like that. All different policies. Read through that. Some of the stuff will be on the scavenger hunt. This is new for me, time commitment. Because students will say, well, I'm taking a 12-week class and it should be easier. Well, not exactly. If it's a 3-unit class, it's 16 weeks, it will meet 3 hours per week. Now, if you are a hybrid class, it could be 2 90-minute classes, or we just meet 1 90-minute class. But if this is a night class, I would teach this 3 hours a night. What? Plus homework is everything times 2. Whatever, if you're meeting 3 hours a week, times 2 equals 6 hours per week for a total of 9 hours. So to kill it in this class, carve out 10 hours a week. Now, some people can do it faster. This is just our recommendation, our calculation. Okay. If you're taking a 12-week class, it's more like 12 hours per week for this class. It's a lot. And you work and you have other classes. I get it, right? Or you have kids. Great. See, if you're taking an 8-week class, everything is doubled. 18 hours a week. And guess what? I have taught this class in a 4-week format, which meant unit 1 was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday exam. Unit 2, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday exam. Yeah, taught this class in 4 weeks in January. And guess what? Everybody did really well, because if somebody signs up for a 4-week class, it's already like a person who knows what they're in for. Yeah, you guys got this. I just put that in there. Again, these are just to read. Once you read it, it clicks off. I made a little PowerPoint of how to do well in the class. It basically says, read the book, do the notes. Talk a little bit more about Title IX. 3 videos in here. One is like a little rough, little trigger warning, not gonna lie. But again, if you have an issue where you're being harassed or whatnot, let us know. I'm also on the care team. Because of my work as a social worker, they have me here on the triage team. And when their people are, in crisis, I'm there. I'm here. Tea consent is how do we, you guys may have seen this before, but it's how do we talk about consent and about pouring tea for a friend, right? Just because they wanted tea and they passed out, don't shove the tea down their throat, right? And then there's a kids version. But if you're in a school setting, please don't show this to kids unless you have parent permission. Show it to your kids. I showed it to my kid. Yeah, it's really, really sweet. It's very, very sweet. Academic is advisement and job placement. We have academic advisement and job placement in both places. Reach out, let me know. This is the SEC people, but I can always plug you into the Santa Ana College folks too. So here's our introduction. These are the only things that are due by Sunday. That was in the prep module. Okay. So again, share your pictures and do not give me a link. That's all I'm looking for. Share your pictures, give us a little summary, and do not do a link. Because if it's a link, no one's going to click it. People just want to see your pictures, right? Also, don't make your pictures this big too. There's a way to get them smaller. If it's a drag the corner, great. If it's not, you have to like exchange the pixels and then reload them. You guys can do it. If you're stuck, call the 800 number, the 24-hour helpline, or ask a friend in Pronto. Now, I know people have already put theirs in. I'm not going to like show a lot, but I'm going to scroll down. Oh, nobody's put it in yet. Is it posted? Oh yeah, there's people who put it in. Where did it go? Oh,
Maybe
I'm
because
in
you're in
the
student view.
yeah, I'm in the student view. I'm in the student view. So only students, you can't see it until you post. So if I click leave student view, I'll be able to see it. So good. Yeah, I'm like, I know a lot of people put theirs in. Yeah, yes. Awesome. I have a poster too. I could post if you're interested. I love this. I love you guys are meeting each other, supporting each other. It's awesome. Syllabus scavenger hunt, super easy. It asks questions like, how many chapters in this book? How many units in this book? How many professors in this class? How many times can you cheat? Things like that. So super easy. Should take you like, again, no time limit. No, you can take as many times as you want, but it could take you like 30 minutes, maybe. Kind of depends. Again, some people are fast. Some people got it right away. Academic honesty agreement. I just added this in during COVID because apparently Chegg got an uptick and people wanted to take school for them. No, like stop it. By the way, Chegg doesn't know your opinion. That's why I ask your opinion. That's why I'm big up. This whole other module is just a support module. It's like, I just have this like tools for success module. It's just a use it if you want to, but if you don't need to, you're like, so here's our introductory. This is where I'm going to put the video right here. That's our prep module. And then the supportive information is like, hey, mindset, tech, spelling, grammar, outline, self-care. It's just use it if you need to. It's just there. Okay. If you need it. So let's look at chapter 1. Pretty straightforward. Every unit will have a unit intro. It'll say, hey, who's in this unit? Chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, what we do for the week. Then you have an exam. Really board accepted that. So chapter 1 is going to talk more about, this kind of gives you an intro just into that. Again, here's our week. And then I do throw in an article here and there. I don't test on articles. I only test in the book because you have access to the book all the time. Articles come and go, or sometimes they're relevant. They're not really relevant, but I keep the tests to the book because I don't think it's fair otherwise. So I have here, I can't right now. I'm surprised I don't have a video in there, but I'm looking for the video because I know I have everything in YouTube. If not, I will find the source file and reload it. But right now we have a PowerPoint and a PDF. So start with that, and I should have that video posted by the end of the day. Trust me, I have a lot of videos. It's a little bit wacky. And here's our outline. I have all these options right here for you. So click and watch the video. What is the Roman numeral outline? If that's your gig, do that one. If you're a bullet lister, great. If you are a doodle journaler, do that. If you like puffy glitter pen, whatever, do that too. If you like Cornell notes or mind map or visual note taking, or if you have an app or you use OneNote, or if you use whatever, Google Notes or Google whatever, like just make sure that I can read the file. If you're giving me a file, make sure I can read the file. Now, here's your rubric. For type, it's about 2 pages. Now, some people go over 2 pages. You can go over 2 pages. I'm not telling you to stop. I'm not going to take points off if you go over, right? But I don't give like 20 points for a 10-point notes, right? Maybe like 12, 13, right? For handwritten notes, because your font's usually a little bit bigger, about 4 pages, right? Do what you need to do to understand the chapter, right? Do what you need to do to understand the chapter. And then a mind map or even a graphic novel or doodles. Show me course terms and colors. Show me 1 page, something good. Don't make it lame, make it good, okay? And again, I do accuracy, appropriate length, and spelling, grammar, and neatness, okay? Pretty straightforward, You guys got this. If you have a different format, please let me know. It's usually a yes. It's usually a yes. Whew. All right. So our first discussion board, you ready? Oh, let's see what's in chat. For the outline notes this week, the notes should be based only on chapter 1. Yes. So I put out an announcement, I think it was this morning or last night, that said, like, if you're doing 2 chapters in 1 week, just do 1 document for chapter 1, 1 document for chapter 2, 1 document for chapter 3. This week, I only expect chapter 1 in. I don't want to like have a prep week and chapter 1 and chapter 2. Right? Put chapter 2 in next week, or do 2 by itself if you need a break, and then 3 and 4 the following week. Or put 2 and 3 together and then take a break on 4. Like I tell people, take a break on 4, do it a little bit less work so you have more time for the test. You see what I'm saying? So if we have prep week and week 1 together, that's kind of a lot. 2 and 3 is kind of a lot. And then 4 and an exam is a lot, right? Make sense? So you can kind of like balance it out. Oh, because it said I read chapter 1 and chapter 2 is a little confusing. Oh, okay. Let me double check. Maybe I put that on the calendar. Chapter 1 and chapter 2. Yeah, just keep it separate. And again, even if you have to turn in chapter 1 notes a day or 2 late, just let me know. Right? Again, a stress brain is not a learning brain. Good question, Jennifer. Did I get other ones here? My Canvas teacher information says that this course is being taught by Mr. Becerra. Yeah, so Mr. Becerra was on there first, and then something happened, so then they asked me to fill in. Yeah. I've never even met that guy, but they're like, can you fill in? I was like, sure. Yeah. So for our first discussion board, again, I don't want them late, but I am giving you extra time to get these in. Get your main post in by a Wednesday. So I'm looking at our 4 chapters of this unit. We're discussing all kind of within the same 3 weeks. We could have 3 conversations in 3 weeks. Yeah, we could do that. Right. But just try getting it by a Wednesday, so then you know you're in that habit, right? You're going to read this. It's an article. This click goes to a link in Edutopia and has a bunch of different things that you can read. But like, you know, there's a bunch of different articles. Just read one in there, one that excites you, one that grabs your attention. And then we go to the Harvard Project Implicit. Now, I did tell people to choose disability because there is a project implicit, but disability, yesterday I looked and it's not there. So this is what it looks like. So do health. Okay. So what this is doing is like, it's really trying to test our brains, how we connect our brain and our thinking with our reflexes. So it might ask you to press a button if you agree with the statement, and press a different button if you disagree with the statement, and then it changes. It's a little funky, but it's one of these things that you don't think about. And then at the end, it'll say you have a slight bias toward or a slight bias against. And it's not bad. It's nothing is here to get you upset. Nothing here is to look, even this one's about race and weapons and stuff. What? Yeah. So you don't have to register. You don't have to log in. You can go as a guest. But again, this is just getting our juices flowing on how we look at health, how we look at exercise, how we look at body type, how things like that. So yeah, you're welcome to go into there. And so again, even if you register, what's horrible about being registered with Harvard? What? So once you take that quiz, and again, disability IAT, I'm not sure if it's buried in the health one. I think it is. It takes about 10 minutes. But again, I want you to give 3 to 5 sentences each. Not hard. 3 to 5 sentences each. What did you think of it? You can say that was really weird. I took the one for homosexuality. My best friend's gay, and it says you have a slight bias against people. I was like, well, I'm not going to argue. I could argue. Maybe I do. I think our world is more geared to a heterosexual as normative, but I have no bias against her, so it's this thing like, 90% of our society is usually heterosexual, but I have nothing against people who are gay at all. My son's gay. I'm a Kinsey too, worked at AIDS services. So I'm pretty open to it, but I think socially our society is pro heterosexual. So I was like, I could argue that, or look at the bigger picture. Yeah. What are your results? If you're comfortable in sharing, right? Again, share with what you're comfortable with. And do you agree or disagree? I kind of give you my disagreement. And how does this information help you now and in your future? And please don't put, it doesn't help. Come up with something. Okay. And is there anyone who can benefit from this site? Yeah, you can do another one if you want to do 5.6 credit. It's up to you. Yeah. So again, it's a sensitive topic. So please be nice about it. Don't be like, you're wrong because those are your results. Like, people have results. Take it more than one time. It's up to you. It just gets us talking about how we look at people in our society. Because again, we talked about this earlier. Sometimes people think if their body is not super like normative, then their brain must be disabled. No, not necessarily, right? Not necessarily. So again, for every discussion board, you get 5 points for the main post, 5 points for engaging peers, 5 points for reconnecting to your peers. You can get a couple extra points if you're super awesome and you do a little bit more. But again, be good here. Don't harass any people. And we're all protected under Title IX. So this is a good way to start. It's kind of intense, but you guys can do this. Again, upper division class. And some people have already done it. Yay, 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 yay. And so get in there. Get in there. Good. So here for our journal. Pretty awesome. So our chapter reflection in our journal. Again, there's 3 parts. 1, 2, 3 right here. 1, 2, 3. This is due by Sunday at 8. Do this after everything. Even do it after the quiz. Or you can do it before. It's up to you. You're an adult. Okay. Number 1, reflect on what you have learned over the course of this chapter. 5 to 10 sentences. What stuck out to me? Right? Here's a tip. What did I learn? What stuck out to me? Find an additional resource that deepens your understanding. 5 to 10 sentences. What do I want to learn more about? Maybe this chapter talked about spina bifida, but it didn't talk enough about it. I want to learn more about it, right? So maybe you want to put something in there about spina bifida. Okay. Make sure you include the link or the video inside the source file. Because guess what? I don't even see everything that's out there anymore. I don't. Like, there's so much going on out there, and I'm so sometimes in this bubble, I don't see everything. And you guys are bringing new information to me. It really helps to broaden my horizons. And if it's super rad and it's super current and I missed it, now I can share it. So I'm making you guys be a little foot soldier, but also connecting to the materials. The way you connect in a personal way shows me that this is making sense to you more than some lame quiz. Right? So a quiz, I'm like, you could do a quiz, right? We got this. But how you connect to the material is how I know it's making sense to you. If it's not connecting to you, why are you doing it? Why are you here, right? Oh, I just need a degree so I can get more money. But you don't need to take this class, right? You don't, right? So make it make sense to you. Make it worth your time. Trust me. Connection is all that really boils down to what the point of life is connection. And lastly, what do we do with this information? So now you learned about spina bifida. What would that help you with? Oh, okay. Well, if I see somebody in a reclining wheelchair who has a tracheotomy and doesn't speak, maybe they had spinal cord issues when they were born. Yeah. So, I mean, these are things that you can see instead of staring or wondering or feeling uncomfortable. A lot of people really still feel uncomfortable about disabilities. So we're trying to lower that stigma, right? Again, here's some suggestions for number 2. Like, you're not sure what else is out there, go to the end of any YouTube video and there's a bunch of other things you could go down a rabbit hole on, right? Could be an article, scholarly journal, a website, a podcast, a book, a YouTube or TED Talk. You guys got this. Okay, 5 points each for sections 1, 2, and 3. I can always give more, but I do drop the lowest one at the end of the semester. Policies, procedures, Title IX. You guys got this. Let's move on to chapter 1 quiz. I'll even give you a preview. Preview, super easy, right? So 5 true false, 5 multiple choice, 1 point each, 10 points total. It's automatically graded. It doesn't show me the answers, but I can run these by you. Perceptions and attitude. It's influence how individuals in society respond to disabilities and abilities. Easy. You guys got it. And I don't even mean professor easy. I hate it when professors say it's easy. Yeah, it needs to be easy for the professor. People who are disabled are considered a part of a minority group. You guys got this. True or false? Yeah. Children with disabilities have always been included in public schools. Kind of easy, yeah. The quizzes are just to keep our momentum towards the exam at the end of the unit. In the last century, many people with disabilities were sent to institutions to live their entire lives segregated from their families and communities. Right? I'm going to tell you this. My dad's sister has Down syndrome. And when she was born in 1962, they told my grandparents, It's okay, she'll live with us. And they sent my grandparents home. Now, dance center was like, oh, let's get you a social worker and plugged into Medi-Cal and some supports and whatnot. So my aunt never grew up with her own parents. She came home on the weekends, but she was institutionalized her whole life or in group homes. That was normal for my lifetime. And when they say last century, they mean 19 something someplace. They don't mean 18 something somethings. Yeah, so it's weird to think that in my lifetime, they just took babies away from you. And that was a normal. And now they're like, no, baby goes home with you. Let's get you support so that baby can stay home with you. Yeah, it's wild. So you guys got the quiz. It's easy. I might show you the questions. You can look them up or keep those in the back of your head as you go. Oh my gosh, I'm in 1 minute and 55 seconds. We spend an hour and a half. It doesn't matter. Hide the time if that makes you makes you nervous. And then after the end of the quiz, there's just like a wrap up. Let me clear that out. Look at this. So here are weekly assignments outline, the discussion board, the journal, quiz, optional feedback. And then guess what? I have all this stuff in here. Now, some of these videos are in the PowerPoint and in the PDF, but sometimes, like they don't work. So I put them in here too. And yes, I do have drunk history version of the Fight for Disability Rights. I do. Because it actually has all disabled actors in there. When's the last time you actually had a disabled actor doing a disabled actor's job? It happens, but more now than it ever has been. So I do really like that drunk history version. Additional supportive information. I have other TED Talks. I have other articles here. Oof. Willowbrook. This one's hard. If you, it looks like a horror film, but that's how people lived their life in an institution, locked in the dark with maybe a diaper. Yeah, sad stuff. Big trigger warning. Every child needs a champion. I love her. She's amazing. And then talking about how childhood trauma can create disabilities. In fact, kids with childhood trauma could look like ADHD and they really don't have it. So watch her. She was our very first California's Surgeon General. She just retired. So she's amazing. And then person for first language advocacy and examples. So we'll talk more about that in chapter 1. Woof. That is a lot. Chapter 1. Wow. So if you look forward, I have everything all ready to go. Everything ready to go. And I will erase all this other stuff. Yeah. Makes sense? This all I have to do is do this. Watch this. Delete. I did that, all of that already. And when I copy my stuff over, I was supposed to overwrite it, but I didn't. But so I will fix that so you guys won't see it anymore, won't have any confusion. Oof. So let's take a little stretch break. And we normally go from 10 to 12:30. So we have an hour left, which is a lot, but I would like to lecture on chapter 1. Yeah, I don't want to leave you guys hanging just with like, hey, this is the prep week and then no chapter 1. Make sense? Okay, so I literally am going to mute for like, actually, I'm going to stop the recording right now and then we'll start a new recording, but I'm just going to stop the recording, not the meeting. So let's all take like a 2-minute break. I'm going to shut off my video and mute myself so I can like stretch and get silly for a second. I have my ukulele here. Maybe I'll play a little bit. Okay, give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. You guys take a stretch break, bathroom break, do whatever you need to do.